Tell her what? What? Help? Ain't help him. All right, let me turn this off, man. This is that new Drake. Oh my gosh, this new Drake album. I've been listening to this so much. First of all, I want to say I apologize. I'm so sorry we haven't done navigating through adulthood in the last 2 weeks, guys. I've been going hard in the paint. I've been working so much, and I'm gonna tell you guys what's happened in the last 2 weeks. Man, it's been so eye opening. I've been stretched so much in the last 2 weeks. But I had a friend, the same friend I told you about in episode 5, who put that like nasty suit of me, the picture of me in the nasty suit all around the radio station, and now it's like forever living in the internet world. Well, she came over my house. My good friend Sanjay, I haven't seen her in a long time, and she came over, and she was talking to me, and then she started talking to me and my wife, and she just said to me like, "Q, I see what you're doing, and you gotta take it to another level. You have to take your grind and not grind. I hate saying grind because people feel like when you grind, you have no time for nothing else but work. And for me, that's absolutely false. I have so much time for my family. Well, I have good time for my family, and then I have good time for work, and I just have time to just get better and try to do other things. But she said, Q, you got to take it to the next level. And it takes me to my first point this week. You have to have people in your life that you can give the knife to, right? My boy E.T., the hip hop preacher, he always says everybody wants to shine like a diamond, but nobody wants to get cut. Everybody wants to shine like a diamond, but no one wants to get cut. And even with that, that means like you don't want to get the constructive criticism. You don't want to have people tell you, no, you're wrong. You know, a lot of people, that's why when you may see certain things out there, like, man, how did that celebrity wear such and such? Like, who is his people? They're just letting him wild out. How do you do that? Because they didn't give the knife to somebody. So Sanjay and my wife as well, but you have to designate the right people to give the knife to. Like, you have to give someone the knife to cut you. Like, hey, dude, you're wrong on this. Or, hey, you got to step your game up. Or, hey, you shouldn't go down that road. So it's not that many people in my life that I designate to give the knife to, but she is one of them. And she was just like, yo, it's time. Like, I see what you're doing, and you're celebrating. I feel like you're celebrating too soon, kind of like the Seattle Seahawks. But I need you to take it to the next level. So the last 2 weeks I've been in this zone. I've been back. Like, I feel like I'm really back. You ever get in the zone, then you're out the zone, then you're back. Like, I'm back in my zone. And, you know, I went to my boss after having this conversation with, you know, my good friend and talking to my wife, who also has the knife. And you got to watch sometimes. Sometimes your significant other, you give them the knife and then they start manipulating. That's why you got to be with the right person. But that takes, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother issue. And I'm not saying I listen to everything Sanjay says or I listen to everything my wife says, but when they say certain things, I try to, if I don't understand, I try to ask them as many questions in a debate format as much as possible. They're like, yo, why are you saying this? Or why are you saying that? And then I figure it out, and I get it, I digest it, and then I process it, and then 97% of the time they're right. So 97, it's like a lot of times they're right. A lot. So I went to my boss, right? It was like 2-3 weeks ago. I go to my boss, and here's another lesson. Don't ever, I don't care if you're going for your dreams or whatever you're going for, don't say no for other people. Don't say, oh, they're just going to say no if I ask them this. Always ask. Take that shot. Like, the worst thing that can happen is someone's going to say no to you. No's are okay. Like, who cares about a no? Like, oh, you said no. Cool. So I went to my boss at the TV station. I was like, look, the Grammys is coming up. I want to go to the Grammys. Can I go? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Come on. Yeah. You thought I was going to say no. I was like, no, I ain't think you was going to say no. And I said it real high. Like, no, I ain't think you was going to say no. But he let me, he allowed me to go to the Grammys, and they pay for everything. And I go out the Grammys now. When I asked, I really didn't think he was going to say yes, but he said yes. And then I put myself in this corner where I was like, okay, I'm going to the Grammys. It was too late to get on like red carpets and get into like certain places, because when you try to go to these certain events like the Grammys or different award shows, they have press credentials that close maybe like 2-3 weeks before the event is even starts. So he gave me like a week's worth of time. He said, yeah, because I asked him late because I don't know if I was scared. I just thought he was going to say no. I said no for him. Never say no for people. So I tell him, I said, hey, I'm going to get some interviews. I'm gonna make it happen. Boom. So he said, all right, I'm going to fly you out to LA Saturday. The Grammys is Sunday. If you know anything about the Grammys, Grammy week kicks off maybe like Monday or Tuesday. And you're like, of course it does, right? So the Roots do something Monday through Thursday. They had a bunch of people there. I missed all of that. It was all these different kind of parties before the heavy press for all these different artists happened. And when these artists get into like the heavy press mode, it's hard for them to stop and do an interview for somebody that they may know or somebody that doesn't have a press credential. So I get to LA Saturday. I'm hustling. I get a couple interviews. I'm running around. Now it's Sunday. I get like 2 interviews Saturday. Sunday is Grammys. I go to the Grammys. I'm running around, and it's me, my camera, and my cell phone. I'm using my cell phone, the voice memos as my microphone, and I have my own camera, and I'm just recording, and I'm going rogue. I'm like TMZ. I'm almost like the paparazzi out there, right? So, and I had to be on the air Monday. I broadcast live from Fox Los Angeles on Monday. We're on the air at 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. East Coast time, which is 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. LA time. At 4 a.m. Sunday after the Grammys, parties are still going on. It's nothing but parties. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So it's hard for me to like get into the mode. So I get a couple interviews. I go to Meek Mill's party. Ridiculous. It was insane. I get a couple interviews there. At 3 a.m., which is 6 a.m. back East Coast time, I have all these interviews. I rush to the Fox LA station. I'm editing the interviews. I get some on the air, and my flight was at 11 a.m. So, and I'm telling you all of this because we're navigating through adulthood together, right? I don't want you to think that my life is just a breeze and everything is cool. So and you know how people say I was up for like 20 hours. No, I was literally up for about maybe like 30 hours because I was running around LA trying to get these interviews. Okay. So I do my live hit. That's, I'm on the air, LA, broadcasting back to Philly. I'm up for about 30 hours. I'm on my way to the airport for my 11 a.m. flight. One of my bosses calls me and she says, Q, do you have any more interviews? I'm like, yeah, I did, but I couldn't get any on the air. I couldn't get more on the air. She's like, that's cool. But do you have like any more like sit down interviews? Now, listen, now the pressure's on. And here's the thing. You have to read between the lines. Hopefully you getting all of this I'm saying. You got to give certain people the knife to cut you. Don't say no. Don't say no for somebody else. And you also have to read between the lines. So I'm hearing my boss, and the vibe she's giving me isn't like, it didn't feel good. You feel what I'm saying? Like it just didn't feel like a great vibe. Like when I came back there, it was going to be a good vibe. So she says to me, she's like, okay, did you get any other kind of like interviews? You got to read between the lines. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like how this sounds. I was like, yeah, I got a couple. Da, 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 da. So she hangs up the phone. I had a decision to make, guys. And this is about the extra mile. You have to go the extra mile. I felt like they didn't feel as if I had enough. Like I had enough, stuff to come back. And of course, I could have made excuses. I could have said, hey, I was only out the Grammys for a day and a half before the Grammys. You didn't give me enough time. But that's excuses. That's what people that make excuses do, right? So what I did was I get off at the exit and then I park. And I'm sitting in my car and I'm tired because I was up for like 30 hours at this point. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, I've done radio. I know how to do radio. TV is a different animal. It's just a different level. Like, you create content all the time. Like, you can't live off of the thing you did last week. Oh, that was cool. No, it's about right now. So I'm sitting here, bags packed. I got my sweatpants back on. You know about flights. I got the sweatpants back on. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to sleep. Up for like 30 hours. I say to myself, I say, Q, I read between the lines. You got to take it to the next level. I think about Sanjay, the person I gave a knife to. I thought about my wife. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm looking at my kids on the screensaver. I'm like, yo, you got to go harder. All right, so what I hate to do, I hate asking for help, guys. Like, last week was great because it's all of these things that I learned. I hate asking for help. Like, because for me, I'm usually the one when people come and they ask me for help, but it's weird. Like, you can ask me for like 5 favors in a row, and if I can help you, I help you out. But if I need like one favor, I get weird. Like sometimes like gotta walk around and like hype myself up. Like, okay, let me ask, bruh. Can you pass me the ketchup? Like, it's like, that's how I am. Like, it's something I had to like snap out of, right? So I'm sitting on the side of the road. I'm right by LAX. I said, okay. I called my boy, right? And the great thing about relationships, sometimes you have ups and you have downs with people. And, you know, you guys may know him, Cosmic Kev, you know, we had ups and downs, but he's like my big brother. You know what I mean? Like, we've been through a lot together. I've known Kev since I was probably like 18 years old, and I told him I wanted to be in TV at 18, and he said, yo, dude, you got it. And he's helped me ever since I was 18 years old. Like, he helped me move into my first apartment, and we've argued and we've beefed, and just like, he's literally like my big brother, right? And we sometimes don't see eye to eye. And I called him and I said, dude, I really need your help, man. Like, I need your help. He said, what's up? I said, man, I got to get these interviews. I explained to him how my boss called me. I read between the lines, and I didn't want to ask him for a favor, but he was like, all right, cool. Like, who you trying to get? I was like, I'm trying to get Rick Ross. He calls Rick Ross for me, and Rick Ross is about to leave and, you know, leave LA, so he can't do it. So we're like, I'm skitzing, like, oh my gosh. So he's like, all right, if you think of somebody else, call me back. Another person I look up to is like my big brother that I never try to ask him for anything. Like, these are the 2 dudes I hate to ask for anything. It's Big Boy. Big Boy, I was on his show in LA. He showed me a lot about radio. Like, this dude knows everybody. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I got to make something happen. So I call Big Boy. I ask for a favor. I say, Big, dude, man, anybody you can hold me. Like, I need to get like will.i.am, Snoop, whoever. Like, I just need an interview. Like, I got to ask him about, I got to get this assignment done for work. He's like, Q, whatever you, cool. Like, I'll figure it out. Like, I'm going to make some calls for you, right? I call the airport. I call the airline. I postponed my flight from 11 a.m. to the red eye flight. So like, now I have like 10 hours to get some interviews to make it feel like, so when I come back, my bosses feel good about what's going on. So it made me get out my comfort zone. But at that time, I'm up for like 35 hours. I wasn't even thinking about comfort zone. Call Kev back. He's like, yo, do you know T.I.'s person such and such? I'm like, yeah. He said, give him a call. I call T.I.'s boy, my man Clay. I call him. He's like, Q, I got you. Dude, he set up an interview for me to do an interview at T.I.'s house in the Hollywood Hills. But that was something that I just opened up. I asked for the favor. Tyrese. I know Tyrese. I've had a personal relationship with Tyrese for like 15 years. I called Tyrese. I said, dude, I really need to get an interview. He said, come by the house. So I go by Tyrese's house. I get a tripod on my way. I do the interview. Boom, I got Tyrese out the way. All right, I'm about to go interview T.I. T.I.'s people like, yo, we got to wait until like 5 o'clock. Big Boy calls me back. He has Common on a 3-way. Common's like, yo, you want me to, yeah, you want to do an interview? Q, come on, let's do it. I go to Beverly Hills, do an interview with Common. By that time, it was time to do T.I. I interviewed T.I. So now I come back with 3 interviews that we could use on the air, but I had to get out my comfort zone. I had to get out my comfort zone, 1. 2, I couldn't make excuses. I couldn't just, the old me would say, man, y'all ain't give me enough time to get these interviews. Like, I would have did that. Y'all ain't giving me enough time to get these interviews. I never talk like that, but I'm using it for effect. Like, that would have been the old me. I would have been complaining to my friends, like, could you believe what they wanted me to do? Man, that's crazy. But this is what I asked for. So then the second thing I had to do, I had to get out my comfort zone and ask for help. Like, now I'm asking for help. If I need help, I'm asking for it. And that, like, this one situation changed a lot for me. Like, it really changed a lot for me. And I came back with the interviews and everyone's happy. And then I came back and the boss was like, man, you didn't have to stay later. Yeah, shit. Yes, I did. Because I wasn't coming back. And them people were like, man, that radio guy don't know what he doing on TV. And they still may say that. Who knows? But I'm just trying to get better. And this is like, I made so many mistakes in radio professionally that now I can see it. I can see, like, if I'm about to go and make the same mistake. So I'm getting to, like, learn and grow and be a better person. And I just say these things to you guys, like, if things keep repeating in your life, start peeping game. Like, oh, this is happening because I'm keep doing the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day. If you keep that movie with Bill Murray, if you keep, like, messing up, the same thing is going to keep appearing in your life. You got to you have to peep what's going on and why this situation is happening. So now problems are never problems anymore. Like, I'm going to tell y'all, I had this issue yesterday, and I would, like, the old me is more about, like, I'm not going to say, like, I'm about scheming because I'm not a schemer, but, like, I was thinking, like, to get out the situation, maybe I could, like, bust a quick move to scheme. And then my wife, one of the people I give the knife to cut me, she was like, yo, with that attitude, you're going to stay, like, you never know what that decision is going to bring, what it's going to, like, bring back up in your life. So you got to, like, I know it's not normal for you to do it this way, but just do it the right way, and things will turn out good for you, right? So sometimes we get into things in our life where it's like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, it's foreign. Oh, I don't want to do the right thing. And you jump back into your old ways, and your old ways are not going to get you to new doors. They're not going to open new doors. They're just not. So I came back with the interviews. You'll see them on Fox 29. I'm excited about them because it really helped me. It really helped stretch me as a person. And I like learning new things and doing new things and doing things the right way. I come from just in hip hop, being in the hip hop culture, just the rap culture. It's like so many things that, like, sometimes are just wrong. And for me, I just feel like if you take a step back and look at what you need to do for yourself that may be right and it may be hard, but you man up or woman up, things will always turn out, in a good way. So always give somebody, the proper people in your life, the knife to cut you. Always peep game and understand what things are happening in your life as lessons. So you could just become a better person, man. So I'm about to get on out of here, but I want to thank the Philadelphia Small Business Fashion Week because they honored me today for a Humanitarian award. That was ridiculous. I'm like, how? And it's just weird. It felt weird.
You're just watching what you're doing, and they appreciate it, and you recognize for all the good stuff that you're doing.
I appreciate. That's my wife. She said
they're just honoring you because they're watching the good stuff that you're doing.
And just that story alone that I just told you guys, all y'all may see on Instagram is like the pictures with me and T.I., the pictures with me and Common, the pictures with, me and Tyrese. But dude, I'll bust my behind to get those interviews, and like I feel like I'll never be the same just off of that one situation. I could have like took it the other way and said and blamed somebody else or just start taking the blame or responsibility off of myself. And man, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I just really been just trying to step my game up. Like I have not been, and it's not like I haven't been sleeping, but I haven't been sleeping. It's certain things I just want to get from my family. that we have to. We have to get. I'm on a mission. I'm on a real mission. But I do want to thank the Philadelphia Small Business Fashion Week for honoring me. It just felt weird because Anthony Williams, Senator Anthony Williams, he was honored. They're like saying he may be the next mayor of Philadelphia, so that was kind of cool. And man, I'm not used to having the attention on me. It just feels a little weird because I'm used to like interview.
Attention on you all the time.
Not really. I don't have the attention on me all the time because I'm usually doing
on TV.
It doesn't matter. When I'm on TV, it's not about me. It's about interviewing people. So like for me, it's like I'm interviewing a store owner or I'm going to a winery and it's about the winery. So it's not.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
The average person's job
does
not entail a camera being in their face.
Yeah, but to me, this is what I've always wanted to do. So it's like.
All I'm saying is that for you to say.
Why are you so loud? Why is she so loud?
That you're not used to being the center of attention. That's
no, but no, it's not. No. You fail to realize when I am doing an interview, it's usually always included with a subject like, oh,
right, you're doing an interview on television.
Yeah, but people aren't like, ooh, Q's doing an interview. They're like, ooh, Q's with T.I. Like, what's up with T.I.? Like, somebody asked me, yo, man, I know you with all these stars. Can you have them come do some stuff with me? I'm like, no, like, I can't. No, I'm not. But it's, what I'm trying to say is never. I'm more about trying to get the information out of somebody else versus me sitting there being, I don't know, whatever, man, whatever. Another person I want to say hello to and shout out is my man Sean Lasseter. I did this story on Fox 29 about like violence in hip hop in Empire, the TV show, and I went around Philly and I did like all these different interviews, and I'm really proud of it. It's like my first story I've done on my own. Like these last 2 weeks have been crazy. So I did that story. I go to LA. I get some more stories. They like, it wasn't enough. I got some more stories. I come back. I start editing. The piece airs. Like I'm just really happy that I'm going for my dreams. And I'll tell you this, Sean was like, Q, I saw him tonight. He said, man, you got to keep doing navigating through adulthood because people need to know what's going on with you. And I'm like, he's like, you just don't understand. Like, we really are listening. So thank you, Sean. I really appreciate that. He's a really smart dude. Follow him, Sean Lasseter on, he's a rapper turned photographer, but great dude. But yeah, so here's the thing, right? Throughout all of these things, the Grammys, the hip hop story I did, what else? New York All-Star Weekend, all of this different kind of crazy stuff. The Drake album, which is ridiculous. I do all this stuff and I get the Humanitarian award. My wife doesn't go. And while I'm getting the award and I get off the stage and I get a text from my wife and she says, yo, bring home some milk because we need some milk. And that's it doesn't matter. Like, fam, it goes from, that's what I'm saying. Like that, y'all. Oh, you not nervous and people they not looking at you because all I'm thinking about after I'm getting this award, I see Senator Anthony Williams and I've been with Dwayne Wade this week. I've been at Tyrese's house. I've been at T.I.'s house, and at the end of all of that, and I get this Humanitarian of the Year award, and I get that, and I get off the stage, and my wife is like, "Yo, we need 2 gallons of milk." Like, she don't care. She's like, yo, we need one for home and we need one for the kids' school. So bring 2 of them home. And it's like, so that's my life.
I did care.
No, but you care, but it was more about the milk, bringing the milk home than, it wasn't even like, you were like, how's it going? I'm like, it's going good. Cool. No, you always, and people are like, where's your wife? I'm like, yo, man, she's at home. She would have fallen asleep anyway. Like, you wouldn't. Oh, so this one lady was like, oh, that was nice that you. And on Valentine's Day, what I did was I surprised my wife. I came to her job and I gave her flowers. That was cool. So nice. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
I was really embarrassed.
Whatever. But at the end of the day, it was like Grammys, Humanitarian Award. Get that milk. That's my life, guys. I'll see y'all next week, man. Navigating through adulthood. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Add me on Instagram and Twitter, all media Q, and follow me, QuincyHarris.com.